I understand that this is going to be some of the worst production quality I have recently attributed to myself and my videos, but my message is important. I've been having some issues with my complex post-traumatic stress disorder, but in the specific categories of the GAD, but again, more specifically, the socialized anxiety disorder. However, I think that is comorbid with, of course, the obsession compulsive disorder, the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and blah, blah, blah. But a new diagnosis, phrase, term, whatever you want to call it, has come to my attention, and it's not just me. It's a lot of the community. So, it's called Cyclothymia. And, see, I started with manic depression, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, and then this thing they called, remember, I didn't remember in earlier videos I was talking about this thing called, that I created, called bipolar 3. Well, apparently, I'm not alone. And again, forgive the production qualities, I really gotta stay in the dark. That's kind of neat, the light change, the color change or whatever. But anyway, so please don't think I'm sitting here neglecting content creation quality. I'm just making the best out of what I have to work with. So anyway, cyclothymia, or better known as, like I was creating to call it, bipolar 3. Somebody else has actually titled it bipolar 2.5. Okay, here's the problem. It juggles with many of the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, which I hate that. I hate that term. There's that wagging finger. Fuck you, whoever get a fuck about this stupid shit. There's that waving finger. Anyway, okay, I like to call it emotional regulation disorder, which is what it was originally called, and then transferred to the more politically safe or correct term borderline. Sorry. And what's really fucked up, the borderline personality disorder sounds way crazier than somebody with borderline. Borderline? What the fuck's borderline? But that's why I like the term emotional regulation disorder. So much better because it's so much more real. Anyway. And boy, I bet I'm going to have a fit watching this again, being like, why did I do all that fucking shit? And I'll be like, well, in the moment it seemed right, and, if I justify it, but fuck. But see, that's that socialized anxiety disorder. A little OCD, and, maybe even some epilepsy? Frontal lobe and temporal? Look it up. Anyway. I'm watching this video called Autistic Adults with No Friends, and I realize I do have a few friends. Wow, golly, it's just way too fast. I'm not used to that 60 frames per second, I guess, and the refresh rate on the camera. So, but hey, everybody needs to upgrade. Anyway. I bet you hate it when I do that. But you know what's even worse? I should hate it even more. But oh, see, I can't say I don't hate it. At least I'm honest. I mean, to a fault. Okay, so anyway, I am proud of my. There's that stupid hand fucking gesture shit. Ugh. Alright. I can admit it. Yeah, like I really shouldn't care about the camera, huh? I really should care about the message. Okay. Autistic friend with no, autistic adults with no friends. And I gotta say, hey, I've actually done better than the average, because I've got a handful of friends. They're not like frequent friends, although one of them is at the point, and even more than one of them would be if not for circumstance. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's not that they're avoiding me as much as I subconsciously have been avoiding them, or like in the case with my pirate bro Craig, he's in prison. He can't get out to see me. Me and his mom and what do you call his deceased father, his daughter, his grandchild. I mean, we all connected. We all got along as a family. Then he disappeared into prison, and it was just like, where'd he go? So, I happened to, God bless me, I happened to see him right before he got sent from the county jail to the prison. And again, crazy coincidence that I was in there again for a crime I didn't commit due to my epilepsy and anxiety and disability and blah blah blah, child abuse symptoms basically that aren't being medicated because it's illegal without all these crazy ass expensive tests that require referrals, which means you gotta get the doctor to believe you in the first place, which was really the major problem I had when I first started having seizures. Getting the God blessed doctor to believe me that I wasn't just a fucking drug addict fucking trying to get high, and I was literally fucking brain damaged needing fucking help. And he was like, well, I can't believe you unless you got this much money for all these tests. At that time in life, 15 years ago, I was like, and I ended up in the mental hospital for a while. But, and you see how fucked up and crazy that is? I ended up in a mental hospital because I couldn't pay for the correct testing to legally have long-term access to the correct medication. He could, in fact, the neurologist, because he wasn't like psychiatrist and psychologist, couldn't, as far as I understand, prescribe the correct medication to me for my seizures. Even though I think, between you and me at this point, I think he knows exactly what was going on, but he was just like, you need to see a mental health doctor, but he didn't tell me that. He told me to go kill myself. That's where he fucked up. Anyway, I'm over here watching this, and I'm like, yeah, I got some friends. The real friends is amazing. But the crazy thing is, I'm still having the hardest time on this planet accepting that they're really my friends for real. It's devastating. And I think I hit a wall, so I'm going to pause this and record. And man, without my computer, I can't edit this. So this might just be one of them playlist things of part 1 and part 2 and part 3. I'm going to try to get that Chromebook to do some kind of video editing software. And I've got, a couple 100 gigabytes of SIM card space. But it might be the application or the hardware with that Chromebook. I might really need a laptop to edit all this together. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10 minutes. Click.